Making sure things work. Testing. I think it's working. Just making sure. Just making sure this is working. Just making sure it's working. Okay, well, let's see, make sure this is working. Sorry, this take a minute, guys. Just making sure this is working. Testing. Alright, everything's working. Alright guys, welcome to part 2 in an ongoing series where I show you how to make things in Dreams. I hope you've watched the part 1 of this series. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video to see more content from AJD Gaming. Alright, in the last video, I told you guys we were going to do a video on animation. So, if you've seen the last video, we basically made some characters, model them, and put them in this city setting. Let's make something that moves in this world. And we kind of got all this other stuff going on, so it can be kind of noisy. So we'll go slightly out of this world to show you some ways we can make some really cool animations. Let's use this. Okay, so let's go outside of here. There we go. All right. Modes. We're going to. We'll sculpt the square. We'll use the square as just a test animation block. Hope you guys like these videos. This will be a whole series on just the basics, and hopefully by the end of the series, you'll be able to make a game that you can be proud of. Okay. So yes, we're not going to use characters for this one, but I will show you different ways we can actually make animations. Okay, so the Animate tab is what you want to navigate to. These tools will help you bring your creations to life, whether by simply recording actions or getting fancy with keyframes and timelines. You have Action Recorder, which helps you record actions like manually that you inflict. Keyframe, which helps you animate really complex animations of attacks, but we're not going to go over that right now. That's a whole other can of worms. The Timeline, this is where you can have animations within. So you press L1 and X, and you can put animations within there, which we'll explore that. These are called controlled animations. There's Record Possession. So if you have a puppet that can be possessed, you can, record that possession. And then, okay. So right now, we're just going to get real simple with it. Model sphere. Nothing too special. A sphere. Some sort of sphere. For this, we can do a bunch of fancy things with it, but we'll just make it a red sphere. And we're going to make this sphere bounce. To do that, we need to go to Animate and press Action Recorder. By pressing Action Recorder, we can now drag this ball up and down by pressing L2. You hold L2, and you can bounce it up and down and up, down, like that. And you don't have to do it several times, just a general number of times so that it'll look like it. So as you can see, that makes it go like that. But, it's on loop, That's what you want. But you can get other certain types of animations. If you just want to bounce once in an animation, you can do it like that. Sustain, which means it'll just do it as long as it has power. So, and that's pretty much just like once, but if you have power, you can go a certain number of times. Then this loop and this ping pong, which is like, this ping pong's more used if you want like some type of emitting object that goes back and forth to shoot things. You know, something we want, an animation, certain design thing. That's more of just like an essential. Well, it's not an essential thing. The thing you really want is loop, and you can get this to look the ball. By putting it in here, we can get a controlled animation sequence of that. By dragging this with X, we can resize that. Pressing L1 in circle will close it. Pressing L1 in square will open it. And then we're just going to click loop. And now it's going to constantly bounce up and down for eternity. But what if we want to add some sound to this? Let's explore this. Let's search something. There's a lot of different bounces you can choose from. But I think we're just going to go with this basketball bounce. This is in a way in animation as you can loop this. You can loop the sound pressing L1 square. You can adjust many different things about this, but we just want to make it a looped playback. We'll get into sound in another video. Okay. And now let's test it out. Press L1 circle. We want to make this sound a little louder. So we're going to press L1 square and change this to 50. About 50 sound. Well, let's see how it sounds. It ain't perfect, but with the right tweaks, it can. Let's review another way of possession. So we've done the action recorder, which is what I use mostly. We're going to get into keyframes in it. That's advanced stuff. Let's do record possession. Let's get, let's say, monster. Let's get a monster out. You know, we have to get out sound effects, obviously, pressing reset category. Let's get this mist monster. If it's possessable, we'll be able to animate it. It seems to have some sort of sound effect attributed with it, so we're just going to get rid of that. Click X on it. Press, let's see, record possession. Press play. Ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, I forgot. It's for this guy still got forced possession on. Let's get rid of that for a minute. We'll get rid of forced possession. Make that optional. That stuff optional. Oh, it's fine. Okay, let's find our box. Okay. Actually, I think this thing's some sort of sculpture. We need something that can be possessed. Well, yeah, we don't need a monster. Well, let's go deluxe puppet. We don't need nothing fancy. And we need to do record possession on him. As you can see, we have animated a recorded possession. press stop recording. And now, as you can see, he's going to move around with ease. Let's add the ball to the animation. Let's open up this and let's animate the ball to have a different animation. So we can get it to look kind of like a basketball. Let's recolor it orange, let's make it a basketball. There we go. Let's get his hand out. Now, so it means we need about this height. We're going to go ahead and add it to the hand. Alright, so we'll get it another time. We got basketball going up and down, and we got this dude doing his thing. If we want to make it look like he's bouncing a ball, we can get, I got time. I'll do like an emitter. So we'll get rid of this. And this is probably the best way to make it look like he's actually bouncing a ball. We're going to have what's known as an emitter, just on the outside of his hand here. An emitter. There we go. Now you see it's on his hand. Now we just need a sphere. So I hope you're enjoying this video. Try to make it simple. This is an easy one. Good orange. This is also going to help when I show you how to do. There'll be a video on it, like kind of emitters and stuff like that. But we're going to use this just to fill in the purpose of it. This is really good for like showing like It's emitting something. And then we'll make the image object's lifetime maybe 1.5 seconds. Well, maybe 0.5. Maybe less. It ain't perfect, but it's gonna look pretty cool. Make the emit speed like 2. And it'll be continuous. It'll be continuous motion. And now, it looks like he's dribbling it throughout the court. See, look at him go. And you know, that's just an example. That's how you make like a basketball player dribbling, you know, with some animations. So that's pretty cool. So that's animation, guys. We're gonna delete this timeline and this dude here and all this, because now I want to show you background making, which is an essential part of this game. So let's get our other characters. Let's find wherever they are. They're on the street somewhere. Sure, it's a big city. Whoever made this is like, the scale is enormous. Screw it, we don't need all this. We'll have it here. But we'll just make someone new then. So let's make this where they are. Okay, there we go. That's how we find where they are. We'll turn this back to auto-possessed. That's forced possession. And now we are going to move them. Oh yeah, by the way, also I'll tell you this. Hold L2. You want to grab, while you're holding L2, grab with L1, so hold them both, and you can kind of scale out. And this is something that just, you know, you get better with practice. And then you can just reposition them by letting go of those buttons, and then just holding L2 and moving them. Like I said, get better with practice. Let's delete these cars real quick. I want to X these cars, delete them, and this car, and this car. Let's just delete the cars for a moment. There's kind of a distraction over here. Now, for a good background, in this city suburb type setting, we are just going to get more city. Type city, and then type background. And you can get some cool things. We're going to get more into sculpting them in a later vid, but we'll just get a city background. And it doesn't have to be that complex. Get this one. It's got all the stuff you need, you know. Then you just get a good amount of distance away, you know. Let's, yeah. Usually there'd be even more stuff, but let's add a river. Let's go ahead and add some animation to this lake we've just made, this river we just made. This river is to give us kind of some background, in between the background and the foreground. Also, you just have this empty space that you could well go over and see. And usually I would put this around everything. We're just going to use this as a direct point example. Let's press effects mode. Go to wave. Hold L2. Get a wave going. Go to flow. Hold L2. Get some flow going. Go to boil. We only need this a little bit. Hold L, about there. Hey, look at that. You got some water. And you got some animation going. Which in its way, its own animation. There we go. And I guess we'll also get a bridge to breach the background. Type in bridge. We'll get one of those bridges you'd see at, like, a city. We'll find something that kind of looks right. You gotta make sure it's level. So, for this next part to work. Yeah, it looks pretty level. We're going to add kind of like a bridge that, opens and closes, goes up and down. For that, we're going to need a different bridge to attach to it, which we may have to make ourselves. Sometimes you have to if you can't find what you're looking for. There we go. Also on square, make this bridge black. And then we're going to do a little animation. A little animation. But this one's going to be a triggered animation. To where you have to step near it to trigger it. Action recorder. Press, you want to hold L2 on this corner here. And just move it up. Something like that. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. Trial and error, trial and error. Move it up. Stop recording. And this one's going to be a ping pong animation. Or actually, this one's going to be a sustained animation. So, it's going to ping pong. Now we're going to need one of these timelines. Get one of these going. Now we need a sensor. Go to Gadgets, circle there. Go to Sensors and Input, press Sensor. Now there's a whole other thing we're going to do with sensors, but I'm basically just going to show you what they can be used for. Triggering animations is very important in this game. Being able to walk up to something and do something is a crucial element in any game. So we're just going to, you want to go to Detected and click X and attach it to the power of this timeline. So that when you go there, it'll lift up and back down. And you can get more advanced to make it to where like it's on a loop and like boats go under here and stuff. But that's advanced stuff. I'm showing you the basics. So, where this dude goes up, comes back down, and you can go on it. See? That's a bridge using the input, using the animation we're talking about, and there's a background. Hope you've enjoyed this video. That's pretty much all we're going to get into today. I've taught you how to move things, record the possession of things, and eventually we'll get into advanced animations, and that's where we get into the whole keyframes thing. You know, we'll get into some attack animations. So basically, I'm saving the harder animations for another video. This one's just going to be the simple, easy animations. But there will be a video for a more advanced one for attacks, and we'll get into that another time. The third part of this series will be on boss fights, and we'll say boss fights for part 4. Part 3 we'll do voice acting, voice recording, and sound editing. I hope you've enjoyed this video and stuck around this long. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe for more AJD Gaming.